video, I will show you how to use the financial health and forecast dashboard that I sell on Etsy and also on my website. So if you're interested in purchasing this item, please check out the link in the description. If you purchase this item on my website, it's a little bit cheaper and you get 10% off. So check out the link in the description. So this financial health and forecast dashboard I built mainly for small business owners so that they can track their cash flow health for their business and their profitability and also look at their financial stability. And then the cool thing about this dashboard and this template is that it also has a forecast dashboard. So basically you can project out different case scenarios. You can project out worst expected and best case scenario. You can project out for the next 12, 24, 36 months. So essentially you can project out your cash flow and your revenue for the next 3 years. And what's also very cool about this template is that it could auto-generate professional financial statements for you. So it could auto-generate the 3 core financial statements. So first statement it could generate is the statement of cash flow. So you can pick any period that you want. You can pick any month, any quarter, and any year-to-date data. So for example, if I pick Q3, it will show me the data for that period and the period previously, and it'll tell me the dollar change and percentage change. And then you can highlight this and then print out this financial report as well and give it to your stakeholder or your accountant, right, or to bankers. And then the next statement that it could auto-generate is the profit and loss statement or the revenue and expense statement. And here, same thing with the cash flow. You can just come in here and control what you want to see. So here you can pick any month that you want to see, any month that you want to see, and then any quarter or any year-to-date data. So you can see here where I picked June, right? It'll give me the period for June and then the previous period and the dollar change and percentage change as well. And then balance sheet, same thing. You can pick any month and quarter that you like. So any month that you pick here, it'll give you that month and then the previous month and dollars change and then percentage change. And same thing, you can print this out and give it to your stakeholders. And then next thing here, which I mentioned earlier, is the financial dashboard here. So it's same thing, you can control it and visually see how your business is doing and look at your financial health. So on the left side here is your profitability. So it looks at your revenue expense, and on the top here it looks at your cash flow. Because as we know in business, cash is king, right? You need that cash to pay your bills and pay your employees and to keep the business running. So here you can control the month, quarter, year to date. You can pick any month you want to see, and any quarter and any year to date data. And here you can pick any year that you want to see as well, right? Forecast assumption, here is where you would input in all of your assumption, and then these assumption would take the actual data, the last actual data that you have, and forecast it out for the next 12, 36 or 12, 24 or 36 months. Okay, so that's basically a high level overview of what this financial dashboard could do. So what we're going to do is we're going to go through each of the tabs and explain, and I'll explain to you what they do, and then so that you can understand the flow of how this template works. And then hopefully you can see some value in this and purchase it if you think that it will be helpful for your business. All right, so if you purchase this item on my website or Etsy, it will work with Google Sheet and Excel. Right now I'm showing this to you in Excel on a Mac, but if you use this on Windows or Google Sheet, it will look the same. All right. So if you purchase this item, you will get 10 tabs. So the first tab, and where you should start working first when you get this item, is the Start Here tab. So here's where you can input in your company name if you have a company name. So let's say if I change it to XYZ company, right, you can see here as I input this data, it will change all of the input or the financial statements, right? So update all your financial statement here to have your company there. So you just update it once. So make sure you update your company name here. You purchase this item. And then here I put some high level instruction and also explanation of the various metrics on the dashboard, because sometimes you look at these metrics and you're like, what does that mean? So you can come here and understand, what is the return on equity, or return on asset, what does that mean? What does the cash ratio mean? Or if you're looking at the cash runway, what does that mean? or if you're looking at forecast, what is projected growth revenue? What does that mean, right? So these are just high level information and explanation of metrics. If you ever need to reference it or just have a more detailed explanation about what those metrics are, okay? So after you completed entering your company name, then you can go to the monthly cash flow and P&L input. So this is where you input your data for the month for your company. And as you can see here, the monthly cash flow and P&L input, it's the cash flow and the profit and loss is built together into one tab, so it's very convenient. You can input in your cash flow and P&L at the same time. So here basically how it works is you can control the start year. So if you don't want to start in 2035, let's say you want to start in 2028, you can see it updates, right? And then if your business starts in June, you can change this to the start month, right? But most businesses, they start in January, so you can keep this as January. And let me just move this back to 2035. All right. And next thing you can do is put in your beginning cash balance. You know what your beginning cash balance is, put it there. And then everything else should populate once you input more data into these white cells. So your job here is basically, just to input data for your company in all these white cells. So any of the blue cell and dark blue cell here, they automatically calculate the information for you. And then the other thing you can control is also the category. So let's say, you want to change the description of these, you definitely can. You can change it to whatever that fits your business needs, right? Let's say you're selling clothes, so you can say clothes revenue, right? So you can change it to whatever you like that meets your business needs. But I will change it back. Also, everything here, all these description here as well, you can change. And as you can see here, once you input all your information, right, so all the blue cells, they will automatically calculate your ending cash balance, your net profit, your gross profit margin, and your gross profit. So all that good stuff. And then after you completed inputting your cash flow and revenue, then you can input in your monthly balance sheet. So here, same thing. You can edit these description according to your business needs. And then here you can edit or change or type in the inputs for your balance sheet for your company every month here on the white cell. And any of the blue cell or gray cell here, they automatically populate because they have formulas in them and they calculate that for you. And then the next one is the cash flow financial. So this financial here, it's grabbing data from the monthly cash flow and P&L. So it's basically taking this information and putting it to a very professional looking cash flow for you. And the nice thing about it, it's comparative, right? So as you can see, you can pick any month. Let's say we pick May 2035 and let's just spot check. So it says that our cash at end of the period for May 2035 is $531,384.15. So let's see if that's right. Yep, $531,384.15, right? So it just grabbing the data nicely and it put it into a professional looking statement. So same thing here with P&L. It just grabbing the data from here and then putting it to a professional statement here. And the nice thing is you just need to pick what months you want to see, right? And they'll give you dollar change and percentage change. Same thing with balance sheet, right? You can pick any month here because it's just grabbing data from the balance sheet input. And you can definitely highlight this and then print it out. Financial dashboard here is once you input all that data, it'll give you this information visually. So you can see how much you have cash on hand, how much cash runway do you have, how many months do you have, right? And then your cash flow margin, your free cash flow. So here you can select any quarter, any month, right? So you can select the year as well. And as I mentioned, if you want to know more about any of these ratios, you can go to the start here and it'll explain some of these ratios for you. But everything else, it's pretty self-explanatory, right? Your gross profit for that month or that quarter, how much revenue and expenses you have, and what's your net profit. So it's a very nice looking dashboard where you can control any month, quarter, and year to date, right? You can pick any month, quarter, year to date, and it'll populate and it'll give you the data visually to tell you, how's your cash flow health, how's your profitability health for your business. And then here's your forecast assumption input. So once you put in all your data for your cash flow or P&L, or at least 1 month of data, then you can come here and project out your cash flow and your revenue for the future, right? So like, let's say your monthly revenue growth, you expect worst case you just make 2% increase, and expected maybe you think it to be 5%, and best case maybe you're gonna increase your revenue by 10%, right? So you can input that, and then you can project your cost of goods sold as a percentage of revenue as well, and then your variable expenses and then fixed expenses down here. So you can put any percentage that you think would be applicable for your business in the future. And then here's the one-time future event where you can put in large one-off purchases, right? So if you have purchases for the next 12 months where you're gonna incur a large expense, then you can just put a negative balance here. So anything that you've incurs an expense, just put a negative balance. If you think you're going to get a lot of revenue, a one-time large purchase, then just put it in positive, and make sure you provide the date so that the forecast can see what date you're getting that information, what date and year you're getting that information, and then incorporate that as part of your cash inflow or outflow. Okay. And then, so once you input this information, your forecast assumption, you can go to your forecast dashboard here, right? And you can see what it looks like for the next, a year, 2 year, 3 years. So you can select, okay, are you forecasting for next 12 months, next 24 months, or next 36 months? You can see all these chart here are automatically updating. You see it moving, right? Right here. So let's do 24 months, and let's say we want to do worst case. What is that going to look like? Expected case, what is that going to look like, right? Or best case, right? And then here you can see the financial. So as I mentioned earlier, you need to have at least 1 month of data, of actual data input in the monthly cash flow and P&L input, so that the template can forecast out the financial for the next 24, 12 months, or 36 months. So as you can see, it's getting its base from December 2035, because that's the last month I input data. So as you can see here, I fill all the data, right? So I fill out through December 2035, so that's why it's getting that as a base. And then it's projecting this out based on what we have as input here. Okay, so you can see you can toggle between the pages. So you want to just see page 1, so that'll be just from January to May. And if you pick 36 months, you can keep going, right? You can pick what it looked like on page 8 or page 6. So it's very nice. And then here you can see what your gross profit margin, projected gross profit margin, net profit margin, cost of goods sold as a percentage of revenue, and expense ratio. So it's very much visual data. And here you can see on the top left here, it gives you your net profit and cash on hand for all scenario, best case, expected, and worst case. But this one here, it just shows you what you selected, right? So it says best case forecast scenario. So you select here and it says worst case, you said worst case, right? Even here too, shows you the worst case, expected case, right? So it's very neat. And then lastly, here is the forecast financial. So you can select any case scenario you want and any length that you want. You say 24 or 36 or 12 months. And then here's the page number, because this display only 12 months. So then, first page you see the first 12 months. So if you pick 24, then the second page you see the next 12 months. All right, there. And then you pick 36, and then you select page 3, then you see the last 12 months, right? And then you can definitely print this out and send it to your stakeholder, or show it to your stakeholders or your accountants. And you can see here, I forgot to mention, as you pick the months, let's say 12 months, you can see the reporting period change, right? So this is from January 2036 to December 2036. So if I pick 24 months, it'll give me 24 months here. So it's very intuitive and dynamic. So basically, that's how the template and this dashboard work. So if you think this is helpful for your business, check it out. And I built this from a very accounting perspective, because I've built this in the past, and I've used this when I was working in corporate. So I think this will be very helpful for a small business owner. So thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions or concern, please don't hesitate to reach out. Thank you.